शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। Yesterday we were discussing about the Manomaya Kosha, mental body, mental shape. So the authoritative knowledge, which we call Vedas, are the source of all knowledge. So that is, we get what is the meaning of Keju mantra. That is in Vedas. Visishta Manovritti, it is a special impression of the mind. So Manovrittitvam mantranam ejutvam. The mental impressions of these mantras are called Keju mantra, which is the head of this mental body, mental sheath. Again we have discussed with full feeling or emotion, with bhava, when we hear the scriptures, after that we can meditate on them. So even the hearing should be with full feeling and emotion. So when we hear the mantras, they make some impression in our mind. This impression of the mind, of the mantra form, he says, is not different from the consciousness. The thing is, though mind is inert, because it is very near to the consciousness reflects mind. That's why when we hear the mantras, we feel some sort of joy when we repeat or when we hear these mantras. Especially if you develop a good taste and with full emotion, if you chant the japa or the mantras, you will feel some inner joy. That is called japa, he told. And now the opponent asks, repetition of letters can also be done. He says no. The mantras expressed by a word The words are called Teju. See, the combination of the letters makes a word, and the words combining with each other, and they give the meaning of the sentence. So, first we should know the meaning of the words. So, meaning of the words put together becomes a mantra. That is a Seju. And the meaning is there should be a correlation in between the words. And the meaning we should be able to experience. Suppose if somebody says, he is throwing the fire with the hands. It cannot be done. Adina Sinchati. Because it is not possible to throw the fire with the hands. Burning the hand. That's why, though it is a sentence, it cannot give you the experience in full meaning. That's why here the mantra means expressed by words, and they form as a mantra. And the mantras is said it is consciousness by itself. Because associated with mental functions, conditioned by mental activities, what are these mantras? It is associated with the mental function, with making an impression in the mind. And also conditioned by mental activities, he says. So when you utter a mantra, that it is giving an impression in your mind. And again he says these mantras are not different from the consciousness. That's why he says Vedas are eternal. Suppose, see, here the opponent asks, they are only a sound or words produced. How they can be eternal? And he says, the Creator, by uttering these mantras, he started creation. How the words are eternal? The words are attached to the species and categories. Gods, it is a species. Man, it is a species. So it is not describing a particular agent or particular human being. So whenever the God utters the species name or the category's name, they are created. Now gods are having a form, and if they are created and if they are having a form, they are not eternal. Because a created thing should perish. Jata se juva mutyo. But the gods as a category and the species is eternal. So now if we say a cow, it is a species. The form of the cow is eternal. Oh, so in the last creation, as they are, so he creates them. That's why the Vedic mantras we call they are eternal. In that sense, in Devatadhikarana, there is a portion in Brahma Sutra, Devatadhikarana. In that these things they are clearly explained why the Vedas are the sounds. It is, he says, the opponent says, the gods are not eternal, though they, because they are having a form. Then he says, the gods are a species. Just like if you say Prime Minister, this is a post. Prime Minister is not going to stay there lifelong. Even the middle also they remove at times. What to talk of 5 years or 10 years. So, but the post is permanent. Somebody should be there. So, according to the actions and the meditations called upasana, they are lifted to that particular post. Even the Hiranyagarbha is also a post. So, this is something about the Vedas are eternal. Manovritti vyapaka chidatmatvam suchitam. Says through these mantras, through these mental impressions, this all-pervading consciousness is indicated. That's why in this all-pervading consciousness, all gods reside, and that consciousness is Akshara, imperishable, and it is in the form of space. Actually, space has been created by the consciousness. Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha. But there is no simile to give the all-pervasiveness of the God, of the consciousness. That's why they take the support of the space. So, in that all-pervading consciousness, these Yadur mantras and these Rit mantras, they stay becoming one with that consciousness. That's why as soon as the Creator is created from his inhalation and exhalation, this, all these Vedas, they come out automatically as they are in previous decades. We can say it is already there. Now, about the world. Before creation, name and form are there, is not there. So, as soon as the name and form they are created, it becomes the world. In the same way, here also, they come out from Brahman, that's why they are eternal. And he says they are one with the consciousness. And again, he says the Rig mantra is the right side because the Jew is the head, and Rig and Sama is the left side, and Atharva Angrasa is the support of the tail. And in this, the mantras are used, and those who chant and those who perform the sacrifices from these Atharva Angrasa mantras, they get peace and prosperity. So again, in the beginning of the next mantra he says, यत्र वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्पाप ब्रह्मणा सह न बिभेति कुतस्य नेति आनंदम ब्रह्मण विद्या न विद्यते कुतः कदाचित् the knower of this self or this consciousness or one who has experienced this Brahman is not afraid of anything. Now the fear comes when we feel that duality is there. Duality. No. Dvaita. If only one thing is there, and that is Atman and that is yourself, and since you have experienced it in everywhere, and in everybody, you are seeing that oneness, then there is no fear. Tatra ko moha kashoka ekasma. Even there is no illusion. The illusion, nothing is there, and there is no sorrow. But the thing is this, one has to overcome this body consciousness and this mental seed and the intellectual seed. Even he should go beyond this bliss seed. For that one has to do practices. So this Vijnanamaya Kosha intellectual seed is the determining factor. For that faith is said, he says. Faith, Shraddha. Because when one is having, one who is having, or one who is possessing this Shraddha, then only he does the sacrifices, etc. Otherwise, he will not. He will determine in the mind by doing the sacrifices, I will get such and such fruits, etc. In the same way, the aspirant, in the beginning I told, should have this confirmation and determination. Of three things I told. That Brahman alone is existing, and this world is transitory and real, and yourself, which you call the Atman, the consciousness which is within you, is not different from that Brahman. But these three things are more important. If you are having the confirmation about these three things, and if you start practicing these things, and if you are experiencing these things, you are a Vedanta. See? So, the essence of Vedanta says, Neha nanasti kinchana. Many things are not there. Only Atman is. That's why by hook or crook one should practice and should realize in this very life. There is no guarantee towards the end what we are, what we think and where we will go. So in Gita it says, Emyam vapis paran bhavam tichittante kalevaram tantume vechikante sada tadbhav bhavita. All right, why we should struggle from now onwards? Let us think of the God towards the end. Because all through the life, a man who is attached to so many things, he cannot take away that mind from the world, and he cannot all of a sudden focus it on the God. Just by sleep, if you think something else, you will go there. But But many worldly people will be thinking that you see, I have struggled a lot by hard work. I earned this so many things. So I want these things. If he thinks like this towards the end, God says, all right, you are blessed. You can have. But the things which you are, see, you are having, you will come there, no doubt. But the form will change. You may become a cat and come there, or a dog, or an insect, whatever. Says, what do you think that you will get? But the form is not decided. So what is the use? Now for this I will give a small story. There was a very good devotee, God-fearing, doing so many practices. And one day actually he was worshipping. And during the worship, just a thought came that my shoes are broken.
What?
Shoes broken. And after the worship I should go to Kabul. I should go to the cobbler to repair it. So as soon as this thought came, he left the body. So towards the end, though he is such a good devotee, he thought of the cobbler and he took birth in a cobbler's house. See? That's why in the beginning also I told one should be very alert. Always think of the chosen deity or the consciousness. Anyhow, he took the birth and this is long 3 days over after the birth and all the village people started talking. After a long time the cobbler had got a son, but he is weeping and weeping, he is not drinking milk, he is not taking rest. So this whole village came to know this information. There was another devotee, lady devotee. She heard of this. She came and told, all of you leave the room, leave the child alone with me. Then she says in the ear of the child, no doubt you are a big yogi, we do accept, but because of a small mistake, now you have got this body, you have to pull on with this body, gross body. As a cobbler, you cannot escape. So don't weep. She can. He stopped weeping. Now, what is the duty? He is simply repairing the shoes. He has now got sufficient age, he has become very big. So he was doing his duty. In that particular town, there is a married man and he came to this. His name is Raidas, the Guru of Mirabai. So he came to Raidas, this married man, and told, I am going to Haridwar to take a dip in Ganges. So then Raidas gave a small coin. You offer this to Ganges, Mother Ganges, I cannot go, I am not having money. Whatever she gives, she brings it back to me. He said. Well, the man accepted, he went there, and after finishing all this, based on all these formalities, he has thrown away the coin to the Ganges. And from the Ganges, a very decorated, good hand has come out. bracelet, which is bedecked with all said diamonds and other things. It was thrown away to the back. He took it and came to the house.
What?
Bracelet.
That's
Uh,
Bracelet or hand with a bracelet?
Kankanam, they say, bracelet. So it is decked with so many diamonds and all these things. When he brings that one to the house, his wife saw, the wealthy man's wife. So what is this? Why you should give to the cobbler? Very nice this is, so I will have it. She took away. Now this wealthy man is not going that side because the cobbler may ask, Raidas may ask. Like this, 10 long years passed away and he thought that Raidas might have forgotten about the incident. So one day he is passing to that way. Raidas stopped. With that day I gave you a coin and Mother Ganges whatever gives that I asked you to bring back, you have not brought. He simply tells a lie. No, nothing. You man, why you tell a lie? Then you see, he meditates on Mother Ganges. And the cobbler, you see, is having a wooden pot with water. Before stitching, this skin is dipped in the water. So it becomes smooth and he is able to stitch. So from that particular part, he takes the same bracelet like that and gives to the wealthy man and says, you see, your wife has been weeping and weeping to get another one like this, so take this. What is this? How he says, there, मन चंगा हो तो कटौती में गंगा. If your mind is pure and if it is concentrated, you need not go to Ganges. In your house, in this very part, which is very dirty water, in this also you can find Ganges. Because the same type of bracelets it takes. So the thing is, what you think in the end, that is, we have to consider. So all of a sudden we cannot concentrate our mind on the highest towards the end. So we have to plan the practices from now onwards. And we should be always alert. When death drags us, we don't know. That's why we should be. We should not give any opportunity to the mind to think of something else than consciousness. So much alert we should be. A moment of sleep, gone. That's what Shastra says. That's why he says, here faith is said for that intellectual body and rhythm. Rhythm is determined by the intellect in the light of scriptures.
what?
Rhythm and Satyam. Rhythm is the right side and Satyam is the left side. So what is the rhythm? Which is determined by the intellect in the light of scriptures and compared with the life of great saints. Not only that, following the scriptures, all these the saints, rather to say the book also, the saints who have moved the world. So like that the saints compared with the lifestyle of great saints. To follow the injunctions of the scriptures and the lifestyles of the saints is called rhythm, and by mind, by speech and action, be in one line. What you think that you should speak, that you should act in the same way. Manasekam, vachasekam, karmanyekam, mahatmanah. Manasanyat, vachasanyat, karmanyat, duratma. Bad man, he thinks something, he tells something, and does something else. So, Satya means what you think that you should speak, and accordingly you should act. And now head has been told for this intellectual body, that is Shraddha and Ritam and Satyam, both the sides. And yoga is a concentration. Yoga is the middle portion of the body, that is, middle portion is the concentration. To that one gets the real knowledge. And Mahat is the support of the tail. Pradhamajam Ucham Karanami Karyana Pratishtha. Support all the effects, they reside in the cause. That's why Pradhamajam he says Mahat, that is the support for this intellectual state. Now we will go further. Vijnanam Yajnam Tanate, page 335.
Chapter 5.
Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute. Vijnanam is intellect. So when you decide, then only you can do the sacrifices. Tanute means you can expand the sacrifice, that means you will be doing more. Karmana Tanute Picha, when you determine, then only you can do some act. Vijnanam Deva Sarve Brahma Jeshtam Upasate. So, all these devas here again you can tell the gods are the sense organs which we are having. They all say, they all worship the Brahman, Jeshtam, which is first born. The first born, as I told you, in the Hiranyagarbha, is the combination of all the subtle bodies. Hiranyagarbha, Asutratman, Prathamaja. So, these are the gods, as I told you previously, have come out of the Virat. Virat is the combination of the all gross bodies. From that the gods have come. So they worship this Hiranyagarbha. That's what he says. Brahma Jeshtam Upasate. Vijnanam Brahma Chedveda Tasmat Chena Pramadyati. So, without any lethargy and anything, one should know this Brahma, Chedveda. Then what happens? What is the result? Sarire papno hitva. One who thinks of this combined form of the all the subtle bodies, then he will be papno hitva. He is all the sins is giving. All the sins will go away from his body. Sarvan kaman samadhan, and he will be getting all the desires. Tasye esha eva sharirātma yat purvasya. And again he says, of that preceding mental body, This one certainly is embodied the self. So, from the inside the mental body, this intellectual sheath is there. Inside this, that blissful sheath is there. That way, tasmad vaya tasmad jnanmaya danyantara tena shapurnaha. So, from this intellectual sheath, we are further having another sheath. And the last one, or the fifth one, is pervading in this intellectual sheath. It is inside, and it is also having the form of a human being, Purusha Vidaha. Tasya priyameva shiraha. So, for this blissful sheath, or Anandamaya Kosha, what is the head? The head and the side and the body and the tail support, they are all imaginary. So what is the head? He says Priya. You see a particular thing and you feel that you want to possess it. So whenever you see a particular thing which you want, that is called Priya. You have liked it. And Modo Dakshina Paksha, if you possess it, then you will get more joy. But when you enjoy it, you will get still more joy. So the possessing is the right side, and enjoying that particular object is the left side. Pramoda Uttar Paksha. And what is the body for it? It is Ananda Atma, the bliss. And what is the support for Pranamaya Kosha, for the vital body, he told, that is the support. And for this intellectual body, the first bond being Hiranyagarbha is the support, he told. Now what is the support? That particular consciousness which is pervading, which you call Brahma, is the support for this. Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. The support is the Brahma. Now, we'll proceed to the commenting. Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute. So, Vijnanam is the knowledge accomplished through scriptures. And because of that knowledge, you do these activities. You perform Vijnanavani Yajnam Tanoti Shraddhadi Purtam with full faith. One should know and then only will act accordingly. That's why the scriptural study is necessary. Now, in this particular Kriya, afterwards we will be telling what are the qualifications for realizing what one should possess. What are the qualifications for realizing? Then he says, Srotriyasya chakamahatasya. One should be thorough with the scriptures. All the scriptural knowledge one should possess. He might have heard in his last birth, or he may hear now, or at least he must be knowing the essence of the scriptures. Srotriyasya cha. Akamahatasya. Desirelessness. The two qualities have been told in this Taittiriya. But if you go to Brihadaranyaka, it says, in the conscious state, you are not having any desires. But in your subconscious mind, which you have been carrying from so many births, last births, there may be so many desires, so many impressions. So, Abhrijana say you should cleanse all those impressions. So the third quality one should have Srotriya Secha Kama origins. You should know, you should have the scriptural knowledge, and then you should not have any desires, and your subconscious mind should be free without any origins. Origin not have. So he says, first at least one should possess the knowledge. What we have to do, then only he does accordingly. And then he determines in the intellectual body, then he acts. Vijnana se kartutvam tanute karmani cha, even all the sacrifices he does. Vijnana kartukam sarvam tasmadityam vijnana me atma brahma. One who is possessing the knowledge alone does the sacrifices and he is becoming the doer and doing the sacrifices. That's why this intellectual body is called Brahman. Through knowledge, it is proper to say that the self constituted by knowledge is Brahman. That is intellectual. All the gods, say like Indra, etc., worship, meditate on Brahman as identified with this knowledge. He says. Because for this particular Sri, the support is Hiranyagarbha, Prathamaja. That is why. And after him, Virat has been created. From Virat, all these gods have come out. That's why they worship the firstborn. It is not prior to birth of all these things. That's what he says. Vijnanam Brahma Sarve Veda Indra Diyo Jeshta Pradhamajatva Sarva Pravritti Namva Tatpurukatva Pradhamajam Vijnanam Brahmopasate. Because it is first born, it has started all the activities, he says. Pravritti, Sarva Pravritti Namva. Sarva Purukatva is before all. That's why thinking that as Brahman, all the gods worship it. Dhyayanti. And he says, Tasmin Vijnanamaye Brahmane Abhimanam Kurutva. I am one with that Brahman. That is Hiranyagarbha. That is combined form of all the subtle bodies. Thinking so, that is, I am one with that, they meditate. That's why they got so much greatness by means of worship of that Mahat. They are having knowledge and prosperity, so and so. That's what he says. Now you see, here he says all the gods are worshipping the firstborn. Firstborn is the combined form of subtle bodies. Subtle body is made up of matter. So the combined form also is made up of matter only. And who is ruling that? We should go one step above. Ishvara, the Lord. The Lord, Ishvara, is nothing but the all-pervading consciousness, having an agent of illusion, Maya, and he is the ruler of this Hiranyagarbha, as well as Virat, as well as all the gods. Is visitant. So, when we actually think, there is only one ruler, only one, that is Ishvara. He is ruling that firstborn, the Virat, all the gods and all the human beings. You see? Because he is all pervading and residing in each and everybody. How he is ruling? Residing in each and everybody. Sarvatma. So he is in you, your body is his body, and he is ruling you from inside, but you are not knowing him. You are not experienced. That much we have to know. That is God, the one ruler of all the universes. Now, people are not able to think of one universe. And in all our Puranas and these things, they describe so many universes. Even Sri Ramakrishna says, see, if you take in Calcutta near Belur Math, Howrah Avatar, Ganges is there. And if you go and take bath in rainy season, in the rainy season, small crabs will be moving all around your body. If you take like this, so many you will get in your hand. Small. So it says how many crabs are there in the Ganges, in this particular rainy season, so many universes are there. See? And is controlled only by one Ishvara. All this. So, that Ishvara, when he takes this support of illusion, Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharaja. So, he is not changing. He is all pervading, he is one consciousness. So, these names and forms are formed by the illusion. Maya Dakshena. So, to describe that there are many universes, there is story in Puranas. So once Lord Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma, they went to see the all-ruling mother. He says, their mother, he says, same, one God. Along with them, God Indra also is there. So they went to the abode of the Supreme Mother, and there what they are seeing, so many Shivas are moving just like the big market, so many Vishnus and Brahmas, so many are moving here and there. They have come from different universes. Now how to enter into the palace of Mother? First as soon as they see so many people of the same type, as we are human beings, there so many Shivas are there. So after some time, they caught hold of Ganesha. So they say, you just go inside and tell the Mother that we want to visit her. He went and he comes out. From which universe you people came? They didn't tell him what to tell. Then Lord Shiva thinks for a while and says, you see, God Indra is there with us and he has killed one by name Uttarasura. That particular Indra is there with us. And from that particular universe we are coming, where this Indra has killed. Again he goes. Again Ganesh comes out and says, you see, Indra cannot come inside. You three people can come and visit Father. Then again, they say, how he wanted to see. Then the mother says, you take some dust from inside the palace and put on his forehead. And all his sins will be washed off, then only he can come. I am telling you is, we are satisfied with our own universe. We know only this much. But there are so many universes. And now these scientific people, they just go to another planet, that's all. But they didn't go to other universes. There are also so many human beings are like this.
There is nowadays something called as quantum theory, quantum physics.
Quantum.
It also believes in parallel universe, parallel worlds.
Whatever it may be. So they started believing in this. But when they will go, only God knows. But it is all going outside, but not experiencing this self. Anyhow, that is by the way we told. Jnana Aishwarya, why I told all these things is, these all gods are worshipping that the first created God, Pradhamade Hiranyagarbha. But he is ruled by that Ishvara. Only one ruler is there in all the universes. To tell that, we told all these things. Tattva Vijnana Brahmached Veda Vijananti na kevalam Veda eva tasmat brahmanasya na pramadhyati bahyeseva anatmasu atmabhavitatvat praptam vijnaname brahmane atmabhava nayaha pramadanam tan nivrityartham muchyate tasmachena pramadhyati. See, he says, one who is identified with Brahman, that is, this intellectual seed is one with the Brahman. And he says, here he says, he should not also be heedless about it. That means, he should not overlook. Why? Because the mind, it is always going out and experience the outside things. So, if he gives an opportunity for the mind, it immediately goes out. That's why he should be alert. He should not allow the mind to go out. Tasmanna pramadhyati. That means you should think of only the inside Brahman. He says, Atma bhavanaya pramadanta nivritartham uche tasmat chena pramadati annamaya this atma bhava mitva kevale vijnanamaye brahmane atmatvam bhavaya naste. Now, he has discarded this gross body also. He has given up the feeling of ego on this Annamaya Kosha gross body. And then even on the Pranamaya Kosha vital body. And again on the intellectual body. Then only he can come to this body, that is Vijnanamaya intellectual body, even the giving of the mental sheath. Vijnanamaye Brahmane Atmatvam. So he has become, he is identifying himself with the Brahman, with this intellectual body. Bhavaya naste. If he gives up the identification with the grass body and with this vital body and this mental sheath, then if he identifies with this intellectual body and thinks that it is Brahman, Chet, Tata Kinsha, what happens? He says, Sharire Papano Hitva. As I told you, if one who is possessing the 100% merit becomes a god, and if one is having sin, that is the merit, then he will be going to the nether world. For those who are having this good and bad combined, they become evil. Now, when he thinks, when he identifies himself with this intellectual seat, thinking that it is Brahman, then he gives up all the sins. Why? He has given up the identification with the gross body. This gross body alone is the cause for all the sins.
Like, what's the difference between this statement, not exact science and ordinary, because
You are having 5 sheets with this gross body, and then he says inside you are having the vital sheath, inside that you are having the mental sheath, inside that you are having the intellectual sheath. So, generally, most of the people, they identify with this gross body. I am this. So you should give up this identification, this egoism on this body. And you should identify yourself with the innermost, the intellectual body. Then only you can give up the sins, he says. Anyatha santamatmanmi anyatha kurte kim tena nakritam papam chorena atma paharina. This has been told by Sanat Kumara to Dharmaraja, not Dhritarashtra, Sanat Sujati. Anyatha santamatmanam anyatha kurte. You are the consciousness inside your body. But if you get identified with this grass body, you are committing all sorts of sins, and you are a thief, he says. What you are stealing? Choren atma parana, you have stolen the conscious self. You are stealing the conscious self, and you are identifying with this grass body. So you are committing all sorts of sins. That's why here he says, you see, Sharir Abhimana Nimitta Sarve Papanaha. For the source of all the sins is the identification of oneself with one's body, grass body. Because of this, so one comes to a state of cessation and the removal of the cause of the virtue identification of the oneself with the knowledge, that is intellectual body. So when you identify yourself, that's why yesterday or day before yesterday I told, at least during your meditations, you go deeper and deeper and try to give up the gross body identification. Be within yourself, that light of that Atman, of the consciousness, which is within you. Try to identify with it. But as long as you are having some desires in the mind, you will not be able to. You try 100 ways. Udaram antaram gurudya tasya bhayam bhavat. Even if you make a small difference, just like the breath of air, even then you will be having fear issues. See? So first you should give up the differentiation that I am separate from the Almighty. Go. Then try to identify yourself with it and try to merge in it, rather to say. That's why he says all the sins are coming to the identification with this glass body. Brahmani atma vimana nimitta paye anam upapadyate. So if you give up this identification with this body, you will be giving up all the sins. He says, how if you remove the umbrella, you will be removing the shade also. Like that. Tasma sarirabhamana nimittan sarvan papana sarira prabhavan sarire vaitva. So, the sins which have been committed through this glass body, you give up those sins in that particular body, it says, the glass body. You take something from a particular place, you put it back. Isn't it? Hitva, Sarira Prabhavan, Sarira eva Hitva. Vijnana me Brahma Swarupa, Swarupapannaha. So you have identified yourself with the intellectual state. Tastan Sarvan Kaman Vijnanamayene Atmana Samastute Samya Pumte. So you will be enjoying fully through that intellectual seat all the desires. That is belonging to the knowledge. The knowledge is nothing but now you say you have identified yourself with the intellectual body and there is another body in between. And after that, beyond that, is that all-pervading consciousness. So, after this, you should give up this also and go to the bliss state. And after that, that also you should give up. See? So, to discriminate that you are not these states, you are one with the inner core, that is the consciousness. These things have been described. Tasya purvasya manomaya atma yesha eva sarire manomaya bhava sarira ka yesha vijnana. So in the mental sheet there is the intellectual sheet. Tasmad va ye tasmad iti utartham anandamaya iti Karyatma pratiti radhikaratmaya saddhascha. He says, there is an annexure, mayat, suffix. Ananda, it is all right. But why you have used this mayat? Suppose, if we say apupamayo bhojanam and the ahara, that means today the food is full of sweets. So for which you are giving more priority to the sweets only. Isn't that? No, only sweets are there in the food. That is called apupamaya. In the same way, it is full of bliss, but it is an effect. It is not a cause. See, though it is full of bliss, it is an effect, but it is not the cause. Cause is only consciousness. That's why he says, Anandamiti karyatma pratitiradhikarat. To show that it is an effect. Annadimaya hi karyatmano bhautika ihadikrita. Now, the gross body, Annamaya kosha, and all these things, they are all the effects. So also this blissful seat also. Tadadhikara patitascha ayam anandamaya chatra vikararthe. For it is the modification of the elements which were created by the Atma. So, it is only a modification. Yatha annamaya, as the grass body is made up of the elements, so also this. And this is the effect. So we should give up the effect. Tasmat karyatma anandamaya pratyetapiha. That's why you should decide that this is the effect. This anandamaya portion. And again he says, sankramanascha. Actually, sankramana is to cross over, to overcome. You are identified in the beginning with the grass body and slowly you are entering. So, when you give up the identification with this bliss sheath, that is called sankramana. Anandamaya atmanopasankramati says. Even he has given up the identification with that bliss sheath. Karyatman sankaramanam anatmanam dushtam. What are the effects? Those which are not real. So you have to give up that. You go further. Sankramana karmatvena anandamaya atma smrite. This sheath is heard as it is, you have to cross over. Yatha annamaya atmanam sankram. As we have overcome the identification with the grass body, and you have come up to this fifth one. With this also you give up the identification. Atmaneva upasankramanam. Then he says, one has to overcome the Atman also, cross over the Atman. It is everything, it is in everybody. How can you cross it? You are already that. So, you cannot climb on your shoulders. Is it right? So, sankramana of this self is not possible. Because it is the stuff inside you. You are that. You are made up of that. That's why adhikara virodhat asambhavat. It is not possible. You are not having the capability. Nahi atmana eva atmana upasankramanam. By the self you cannot get up. On the self, as I told you now, one cannot climb on one's shoulders. Svatmani bedha bhavat. And inside, which is the self, there is no differentiation. Now, you are having 5 sheets. Inside these 5 sheets, the consciousness is there. And in Ishavasya it is told that tadejitane tadureta tadantarasya sarvasya tadasarvasya asibhaya. It is fully inside as well as outside. So, inside the 5 sheets it is there, outside this glass body it is there, and in between also it is there. How these all 5 sheets are superimposed on them. It is only imaginary. So, only one self is there inside and outside. These all agents are imaginary. They are not real. and it is not yourself. That's why he says, Siryadi Kalpana Anupattescha. Attribution of head etc. are not possible to this Atma because it is formless, it is not having any particular organs, it is not divided, it is real. As for the self-positive characters of this spirit, which is the cause of the space, and he says, यथोर्थ लक्षण आकाशादि कारणे अकार्य पतिते, and so this one, why you cannot cross the self? Because it has created the space, etc., all the elements, and which is created, it is not real. And the creator is the Atma. See, that's why, and it is indestructible Akshara, it is the real, and it is the cause for all, it is not the effect. That's why you cannot cross. And again he says, Adrishe, you cannot see with the sense organs or senses or with the organs of the action or even with mind. That's why it is called Adrishye. And Anatmye, it is not having any body, though it is all pervading, and you cannot define it because the speech and mind comes back, and it is supportless, he says. It is supporting everybody. So, when it is all pervading and it is supporting everybody, what supporting can you beat? You can. And it is full of joy. Because it is having full of joy, from that you are getting joy. Raso Vaisa, Sarvam Yevanadva Anandi Bhavati. If you are having money, you can give to others. If you are not having, what you are going to give? And if you are having joy within, you can distribute. If you are not having joy, you yourself, if you become a weeping philosopher with a long face, what joy you can give to others? So what you possess, that you give. Because the Atman is full of bliss, it gives joy to all. And is there Asthulam Ananu? It is not having the gross body and the gross elements, and at the same time it is not having the subtle elements also. That's why it says Neti Neti, not this has been told. Mantra Udaharana Anupatyasya, it says, citation of the mantra that succeeds, they are not old Buddhists. What is the mantra? Udaharana Anupatyasya. Neti Neti. Would you go to remove all distinctions from the self? That means you cannot describe that through words. See, previously also I told you, you have eaten a sweet and you have experienced the sweetness, and your mind is having an impression of the sweetness. Now you tell me what this sweetness is. Though your mind has taken a form, impression of that particular sweetness, you have experience, you cannot express. You say, you take and see. Though it is only the experience of the highest Through that, all these senses and mind are working, you see. They are all experiencing the joy. That's why he says, because it is formless, attributeless, and it is all pervading, you can experience it, but you cannot explain it in words. You cannot define. Everybody is experiencing it in day-to-day life, in sleep, in dreams. नहि प्रिय सिरा आदि अवयव विशिष्टे प्रत्यक्षतो अनुभूयमान आनंदमय आत्मनि ब्रह्मणि नास्ति ब्रह्म आशंका भाव. Now he says, for this blissful state, you are having all these things, a head representing limbs and other things. अनुभूयमान आनंदमय आत्मन ब्रह्मणि नास्ति ब्रह्म इति आशंका भावा. The blissful state you are experiencing, and it is having an imaginary head, etc., to possess a thing, to desire a thing, to possess a thing, to enjoy the thing, all these things you have to. That does not mean something inside, which is the support, Brahma Pucham, that you cannot tell that Brahman is not there. It is not existing. Why? Brahmani nasti brahmit ashanka bhava. Asanneva sa bhavati. He says, if a man says that Brahman is non-existence, it is not existing, he also will not exist. He has to perish. That's what asanneva. Asti chet brahma chet veda santamenam vidu. If you first see, at least you should have the faith and determination that it is, and that we are experiencing day-to-day life in the dreams and deep sleep. How can we say it is not there? Suppose you may not accept the experience of this sleep or dream. Say that Brahman is not there, Ishvara is not there for a moment. Let us suppose. Then you are there. Yes, I am there. You are having a mind. Yes, I am having a mind. Then if I ask, are you able to control your mind in your meditation? If you are there, if Brahman is not there, then why you are not able to control your mind? Why it is running away here and there without your orders, without your desire? So something is there behind that mind. According to your past actions, it is driving it out. So what is there behind that we can't see. So you have to accept there is no other book. Isn't it? And even the logicians, they accept that there is a creator. That there is a creator. If a pot has to be made, the potter should be there. Like that, the sun and moon and all the planets, stars have been created. So some creator is there, even they accept. So that's why you say you cannot tell that Brahman is not there. Your existence will be out. That's what he says. Iti mantra udaharanam upate. Brahma puchyam pratishtha ityapicha anupapannam. And the Shastras say it is support for that blissful seat. So how can you deny it? It is the support for that blissful seat. That means you are taking support of chair and earth. You are not the chair and you are not the earth. they are different from you. In the same way, when we say the support of this seed, blissful seed, is Brahman, it is different from this seed, so it is the support. Tasmat Karipatite eva anandamayo na para eva atma. That's why it is an effect. It is among the things which are having the effects, but it is not the bliss. Bliss itself, it is not Atman. That's what it says. That's why we define Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, existence, knowledge, bliss, eternal. That is Atman which is inside everybody and which is all pervading, not having form, not having attributes, not having any category, and not doing any actions. See, but it is existing. And you are no other than that. That we have to know. Vidya karmano phalam tad vikara anandamaya. Vidya means meditations, upasana, knowledge. And karma is actions according to the scriptures. So, the fruits of that action and meditations you will be enjoying in this anandamaya portion of the state. Satya vijnanamayat antaraha. And the self is still innermost, still internal than this. Yajnadi hetor vijnanamayat asya antaratva sutehe. He says, you are enjoying the fruits of the sacrifices, etc. He says, the fruit that you are enjoying is inner from this particular body. It is not perceiving self as compared to the constitutive knowledge which is the cause of the sacrifice. So it is still even inner. That's why in the beginning I told, we are having 5 seeds. First, we are having a desire in the mental seed. Then we determine it in intellectual seed. And with the gross body and the vital seed, we do that particular sacrifice or action. And the result of that particular action, we are enjoying in this bliss seed. So, if you say an action, even it may be a mental action, it is having a result. After enjoying it, result is over. So the action and the results through which you get through the actions are unreal. In the same way, these all sweets are unreal. The inner consciousness alone is real. Actions we do, but all the actions, they are having results. That's why actions are binding a particular person to this world. But if we do the same actions without any selfish motive, you are ascending the bond. You are cutting off the bondage. How? Slowly and slowly, because you are not having any selfish motive, you don't want to enjoy the fruits of the actions, you are giving up. By that your mind is cleansed. Slowly, slowly you will be progressing. Your discrimination will increase, your dispassion will increase, and finally your concentration is increased in the mind, and you think of the self and you become one. So the action with unselfish motive will help you to progress in spirituality. That's what he said. ज्ञान कर्मणोहि फलम भोक्तृत्वात् अंतरतमम स्यात्. Because you are enjoying the fruits of the action and the meditations, it is inside. Antartamasya anandamaya atma purvebhyah. So it is the bliss sheath when you consider the other sheaths. Purvebhyah. Vidya karmano priyadi arthatva. So the action and the meditations, these are, there we told, it is the desire and to possess an object, desire, and you are possessing and you are enjoying. So in the same way, all the actions you are doing and all the meditations you are doing, they are having a result. That result you are enjoying this bliss. Priyadi prayuktehi vidya karmani. The meditations and rites is intended for the enjoyer. It should be innermost as compared with the preceding selves. This is further evidenced by the fact that meditation and rites are for experiencing happiness. For meditation and karma are undergone for the experience of happiness. Therefore, happiness which are attainable by way of fruits lie nearer to the self. It is in fitness to say that they should be internal to perceive the self. But here, you should remember one thing. You are enjoying the fruits of the actions. No doubt. But you should get detached with that happiness and you should become the witness of that happiness. So, the witness, Sakshi, that also is superimposed on the self because there are no attributes. But in the beginning, at least if you become the witness of your mind and your joy and all these things, slowly, slowly you can go inside. But the moment you get attached to the mind, you are dragged out. You are in the mesh of world. We say you are in a marshy soil. You are going down and down and down. That's why you try to become the witness of the mind and this bliss which you are in this blissful state. And afterwards, you should overcome this attribute also, that witness. That I am not even the witness. That's why he says here, you see, for the self of bliss emerging from the impressions of the happiness, etc., is seen in dream as depending on the perceiving self, that is witness self. As you are seeing in the dream, so you should be even in your waking state. This waking state is a prolonged dream. That's why in the beginning I told, the waking state is unreal because you are the seed of this waking state, as you are the seed in dreams. You are not telling that this dream is real because you are seeing it. So you see your body, your mind, yourself, your bliss self, whatever it may be, becomes just the witness. You should become a seed. You should not identify yourself with the scene. The moment you say, when you identify, you are seeing a part. It is an object which is different from you, but you never say, I am the part. But the mistake here, what we are doing in the beginning, is we are identifying with the body. It is just that, something like that, we are identifying with the body. So, give up the identification and go inner and inner. That's what scripture is teaching us. It is 20th. Already 10 days over. Three 40. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunatu Saha Veeriyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharya